This episode was brought to you in part by Loot Crate and Loot Gaming. You can go to lootcrate.com/MrAeroHD right now and use the code AERO, that's AERO, at checkout and save 10% off your entire subscription. Link in the description below. What is going on, everybody? It's MrAeroHD here. We are back again with another episode of Build Drive to Kill It Live. I want to thank everybody for joining me. Today we are doing... Okay, before we get into anything, obviously you already know what I'm doing. You're looking at it. But for everyone who's suggesting cars... fuck off, Warren, you idiot. For everyone suggesting cars, I love you. I don't think I'm ignoring you. I promise I'm not. But like, I have a set list of cars that I want to get through. I want to get through all the Drift Skills Horizon Edition cars, which is why we're doing the Z06 Horizon Edition today. I want to get through like all the Rocket Bunny and wide body cars, and then I'm gonna start taking requests and stuff. I want you guys to keep commenting what you want to see, so when I get to that point, I already know, like, all right, someone's been commenting like Holden Ute or something like that for a while, so I know that's on, like, that's a priority. So please don't stop commenting. Don't think I'm just ignoring you. Just, this game has a lot of great cars that I want to build, and a lot of good cars that, like, I know are going to be popular that you guys want to see. So just give me some time. It's not disrespect, and I know I don't have that many subscribers, so there's no point in me just ignoring people. But I love you. Just trust me. That's all I ask. But yeah, this is the Corvette Horizon Edition. It has the drift skill bonus, which really doesn't mean shit, but this one has more lock. It's got more steering lock. So says Reddit. So we are going to build it today. Another cool thing too is it's on sport tires. It's not on race tires like the BMW was. So it's not going to handle like the inside of a butt. All I did was put the wheels on it. I just wanted to go through and choose the wheels. I chose the Forza ADV ones. I honestly could have just like looked at it. I didn't notice it had the Forza logo on it before, but yeah, threw some logos on it. Some of those you might recognize, some of those you might not. Just all either people or companies that I support, and painted it. I kind of painted it. It already comes as a red, but I did a metallic flake with a little bit of gold underlining just to bring out the richness in the red. So it's a bit of a candied apple red, but not really. So let's actually get into the fun part, which is exploding it in Auto Vista. I'm just joking. We're going to go into upgrading. So like I said, this car comes, the stock tire is a sport tire, which is really weird. I'm not complaining because we would be an S2 if it wasn't for that. The tire width's 335 in the back. That's plenty. And then we got 285s in the front, or we can have 305s, which are just way too big, so we're going to keep stock tire widths. Front rim size, I did upgrade it to 20. Where are we? I did nothing to air and appearance, nothing to the conversions. We have not a whole lot to PI to play with, so I'm going to upgrade basically everything that we can. And then we're going to go to see what we can do here. So unfortunately, you guys know I usually like to put race weight on my cars. Just basically because the lighter of a car, especially when they have big old tires, if you can get a car light, that's great. We'll bring this under 3,000 pounds, which is great, but it also brings us an S2. Most YouTubers don't care, but because since I am not scum, we're gonna keep it in S1. There's really no reason, unless your car starts like at the top of S class, there is no reason to have any car in S2. You might have people like, oh, I need the power, they're full of shit, they just suck. So we're going to either keep the car with stock weight or sport weight. Sport weight saves is like 200 pounds. So we're going to see what we can do. Everything else is fully upgraded already. I am on rally springs, of course. It is a little bit heavier, not by much, obviously. And you get more steering lock. So we're getting double the lock. We're getting basically the same lock as we got out of the E30. But we have 650 horsepower. I just want to save some weight here. So if Fail Race taught me anything, is that exhaust is what you want. So that gives us 670 horsepower and 3,200 pounds. I'm going to see if I can squeeze on like an air filter or something. Nope, not today. Do I own all the parts of this car? No, okay. Can I get a flywheel? I can save another 5 pounds with a flywheel. And then, like I said, everything else is fully upgraded. Yeah, so very, very easy upgrading system. All I did was upgrade the drivetrain, upgrade all the platform handling, put the weight to sport. Actually, like none of this added to PI. So like even if I took away the 52 pounds of the roll cage, which I think we might need, I might go in and take it out if the car feels a little bit wonky. But usually when you put rally suspension, it's nice to have some added stiffness of the chassis. But I'm decently satisfied with this build. It's kind of a shame that we couldn't get like around 700 horsepower out of it, just because those rear tires are so freaking big. I'm just gonna experiment here and see if I can get. I might sacrifice the 5 pounds of weight and just see if we can huck this in. Nope. It's gonna be a cunt, isn't it? It's gonna be and I mean, I know I can probably go fiddle around with wheels, but I do like these wheels. So this is what we got for now. I'm not unsatisfied. That's not a word, idiot. So we saved like about 300 pounds, 3,200 pounds, and 670 horsepower is not the best ratio, but it's definitely doable. So we're gonna go to the parking lot and start our tuning there. All right, guys. So we're here in the parking lot, and look at the color of this car in the sun. It's just, this isn't the stock red, it is the metallic flake, as I said. It just looks so good. So we're gonna jump into the tuning menu here. Oh my god, look at all these. Let me just delete all these first. Actually, to you guys joining the club, and we're gonna fuck you, Practical Thumb, you piece of shit. To all you guys joining the club, I really do appreciate it. I try to post when I'm doing open lobbies, when I'm doing live streams. Basically, it's like a Twitter feed, but in-game. But sometimes, like you see, I'm uploading this, or sometimes I'll be like, hey, I just posted this tune that I'm not going to post on YouTube. There's kind of some little perks to it. I'm trying to figure out cooler shit to do with the club. If you guys have any ideas, please leave them in the comments below. I'm not used to having these many members. On Horizon 2, I had like 100 something, so this is big for me. Thank you all, 268 of you that could have done something better with your club life, but you chose mine instead. Like I usually do, I usually have a bass tune, but this time I'm kind of like include you guys into what I do for tweaks right off the bat. So I like to up the pressure in the front a little bit, just a little bit more front grip. We are running a little bit smaller front tires than I would like. The rear tires are going to be huge by comparison, so I'm going to down the pressure a little bit in the back, but not that much because we're going to have a lot of grip in the rear. These gears are fucked. I don't know how to tune 8 speeds, so I'm just gonna mash. I'm just gonna use the little gearing chart in the bottom. My 4th gear topping out about 115 seems okay. We're gonna move on from there. You can go through, like I might go through and like, if this car is this good, I might go through and like individually tune just 6 gears and then dump 7 and 8. Just because, like, I don't know, there's no need for an 8 speed in drifting, or at least for me. And then front camber, again, I kind of just guess with camber at the start. It's really hard to explain to you guys why I do what I do, because sometimes I don't even know why I do what I do. The toe, I found like a little bit of toe out really helps the stability all around, especially in Horizon 3. You don't usually, like in other Forza games, I don't use this much rear toe, but like I just kind of experimented. I'm also experimenting with running less caster. I know a lot of people like to crank it up to 7, but I'm running around 6 now, and I find it works much better. Anti-roll bars, again, just from experience and like fucking around. I always like softer anti-roll bars. I usually start, if it's a normal car, nothing weird, start around 14 and a half, 15, and then I usually do this around 18 to 20, and then just kind of work my way from there. Springs, this is really the only setting, because I'm using rally springs, that I'll crank all the way to one end. I've always said that if you ever see a builder or a YouTuber or a tuner or a streamer crank anything while they're making a drift tune, they don't know what they're doing. I still stand by that. Just the reason I crank the springs in the front is because I know that I'd be running a stiffer spring, but I'm running obviously rally spring, so I can't run any stiffer than 848. Even that's a little too much. So I usually crank the springs because I know that's what I would be running if I had race springs. I usually slam the car, put it all as low as I can go, but I've been experimenting with raising the front just a little bit, and it has been working really well. So we're doing that. And again, because usually for like other builds, whatever, if I'm using race springs, I'm not using these ratios. And again, I do like it softer in the back just because it gives everyone's like, oh, you need more stiffness in the back. True, but you also want the rear of your car to squat a little bit as you're on power. And then differentials, again, this is a huge thing that pisses me off. People's like, oh, well, I'm just going to crank it because you think they want welded diffs. If you're not driving a 180 horsepower Terreno, you don't want a welded diff. Why do you think people have adjustable differentials in their drift cars? Why do you think people have two-way differentials in their cars? If they didn't need those, they would just use welded diffs. And no one who is anyone in drifting uses a fucking welded diff, like on pro builds and stuff. I'm sure there's really good guys that still use welded diffs. Go on, be in the comments because you guys are fucking experts. But like, you know, you want a little, you want almost kind of like a welded diff, but you don't want both wheels to be spinning exactly the same, just because you'll spin out super easy. If you have enough power to compensate for it, that is. So the stance is actually really good. Rally springs don't let you go as low as race springs, I think, but it still looks good. Like, even though the front's raised up by 0.2 of an inch, I don't know, 2/16 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, fractions. So I'm going to be doing the section I did yesterday to tune, and let's just see what's what here. So immediately out of the gate, this car has a lot of grip in the rear, like a lot of grip. The front is maybe not as responsive as I'd want it to be, but because of the, oh, look at the fucking steering lock, that's ridiculous. If anybody watched my video on Tuesday, I almost said Monday because it is my first video of the week, I complained that the Viper felt like ass and I hated it. Keep in mind it was the Horizon Edition Viper stuck on race tires, but I was like, this thing sucks. This is what I wanted the Viper to feel like. Just a shit ton of grip, like oodles and oodles of grip, and like able to pull, like this is pulling. I'm gonna get a little bit more brave with my angle here. Like this thing, it just drives. Like I knew this was gonna happen, but like I still wasn't ready for it. I actually like it better than the E30, the E36. Don't shoot me, but like it just, look what I'm driving. Like you'd expect this thing to be so fucking grippy and so welded to the road, but it's not, and it flicks so hard. It's everything I wanted the Viper to be, plus like what I knew I was gonna get out of this car. And it weighs 3,200 pounds, and like because of that Wisefab up front, basically, it just goes. Like I really, turn 10, we have to have a talk. Played around, we have to have a talk. I don't know if you're intentionally putting more lock on these cars or like it's a glitch or whatever, but we need a way to be able to do this to every car, or at least every Horizon Edition car, because like this is fucking, it feels like a cheater car almost. Like not as bad as the BMW. That was like a guilty pleasure. This doesn't have that added grip of the rear, the race rears, so I still feel like I can spin, but like I'm not spinning. Also, it's just got a lot of grip tuned into it, so I'm just like, I'm literally just keeping this bitch matted, and it's just like okie dokie, boss. Another cool thing too is that because the front has so much lock, you don't need to countersteer that often. So if you're not good and you don't really know how to countersteer properly and for smooth drifts, because it is a process, and it's something that, oh my god, how did I not spin there? It is something that you have to learn. Like, look at the angle, guys. Like, this is ridiculous. And not even look at the angle. Like, my line, I've been running this section with a couple cars in a couple of videos. This is, I think, in my opinion, the best and most consistent line I've been able to throw down run after run after run. Holy tits. This is my new favorite car. Like, I don't even think we need to retune this. I don't think we need to tweak anything. Like, I kind of don't want to touch it. Like, it's just really, really freaking good right out of the gate. Like, tire pressure in the front, like, maybe, I don't even want to touch it. Like, I hit the curb there, right? And, like, I thought I was going to over-rotate, but the front was like, no, son, do not worry. And I'm like, thank you, daddy. That was fucking, I really hope you take that to sleep with you tonight. So yeah, first impressions, it's still overpowered in the sense that, like, look at the fucking steering lock. This is ridiculous. But it's still fun. Like, I'm sitting here going, I know I'm not on sport tires. Let's see what we can do with an entry here. I'm sitting here going, I know I'm not on sport tires. I do not feel like a cheater. I'm an S1 class, which is like, I don't feel down on power at all. Like, do I wish I had maybe 50 more horsepower? Yeah. Especially when it comes to like linking these big corners. That was fucking cool as shit. Oh my god. When it comes to like linking the big sections, like the big power on section, it definitely does feel a little short on horsepower. But when I say a little, I genuinely mean a little. Like, I'm not sitting here going, oh man, this sucks. That was basically backwards. Oh, it wasn't backwards, but it was almost a 90. It was like 70 degrees of angle, and the car was like, nah, bro, don't even worry about it. Oh, I love this car to do that. All right, if I wouldn't have thrown it in so early, I would have been able to backwards it there. I'm going to go for one on the entry. This thing holds more angle than the BMW. Because you don't have the grip of the race tires there to throw you off. Like, that is a Mahon style entry. Which is what this section's supposed to be all about. Like, why can't we have this amount of lock on every car? Like, I know it's going to make every car feel really easy and, like, make it really easy to drift, which is the counter argument. But, like, this is just so fun. I can almost just turn my brain off. Which, I mean, Horizon is super easy to drift already, but... Okay, so I cleared the way a little bit. I've also turned damage off, so it's not even on cosmetic anymore, which means my cars don't look like fucking butthole. Like, that's so good! Okay, so we're in photo mode here, but, like, look at this angle. It's ridiculous, and, like, it's not like sometimes when you're pulling high angle, you feel it in the controller. You're like, well, I gotta fucking figure my way out of this one. This was 100% confidence, fairly easy. You know, now I'm just shooting for the thumbnail, but like, good God, this thing is a monster. Okay, so we're at the airport here. I'm not going to stay here long because I want to take it somewhere that's a little bit more high speed, which I might do in Rivals mode, or a blueprint or something. But I want to see how this does with really big entries. So high speed, back ease, full on, you know, full on. So here we go. Let's see if I can get up to like 120 at least. Got 50. All right, so I didn't clutch in there, which was my own fault. But fair to say that was a backwards entry, and this car was just like completely capable of it. This is probably the most consistent backwards entry car that I've ever used. When I'm not just saying this to like feed my own ego, but like this is probably like, what is this? That's not fair. Like, that's not fair. It kind of does struggle at high speeds. At higher speeds, I should say. I'm going to try to use this little strip as an entry point here. Like, just no problem. Like, it's got no problem doing 90 any day of the fucking week. It's so easy. Okie dokie. So we're going to huck it in reverse here. We're at the Archway Meadows circuit, which is a Rivals event in Surface Paradise. Again, I haven't changed anything. This car, I think, is the only car that I've ever used where I haven't retuned it since we switched formats here for these videos. But like, it just like whatever. Like, give me as much angle as you want. Okay, yeah, you can definitely feel the lack of power on these longer corners. It's not terrible. Like, I guess a closer car in feeling would be the Horizon Edition BRZ that I drove on Tuesday. This feels very similar to that, just a little bit grippier, which kind of sucks, but honestly, if you put this thing with 700, maybe 750 horsepower, it's going to be stupidly overpowered good. So like, its balance is in the fact where if you're going over 80 miles an hour, it's just like I can't do that. Which is I kind of like that, honestly. I like, everyone's like, what the fuck? Why wouldn't you just make the car as good as it can? Oh my god. It's just not even fair. Be like, why do you like a car to be worse? Like, why do you make English? Why don't you make the car as good as it can be? Like, I don't know, because I'd be like everyone else then, wouldn't I? I'd be like everybody else that just puts 1,000 horsepower in everything and doesn't challenge themselves as a tuner, does not challenge themselves as a driver. Not that this car is a challenge at all. It's actually so freaking fun, guys. I know I complained about the E36 going like, oh, you know, maybe it's a little bit too easy. This, again, because it feels a little down on power, you have to work to make it work past like 60 or 70. Especially this uphill left-hander here. Oh my god, yeah, I just got understeer there. Third gear. It's just not even fair. And then we grip up there a bit. I think if I wait a bit longer to enter, it won't be as poop. It won't be as bunk. But like, if these corners weren't banked either, I think that's another reason why it feels kind of shit, is because a lot of these corners are banked, which are usually fun in cars that are like perfectly powered. Like they're not underpowered, they're not overpowered. Even an overpowered car would be better on the bank, but like this thing on the bank is just like, I don't know what to do. I make the horsepowers. I do not know how to use horsepowers. This horsepower is some kind of rocket ship. Is it a fish? Dun, 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 dun. Like, it's not fair. It's not fair. I look like a god, and all I'm literally doing is just hitting the e-brake and getting on the gas and just kind of going, stick it, baby. Stick it. And then, like, through these sections, I look like I never drifted a car in my life. It's just, I'd like to think it's just the banked corners that are helping with the grip. Because, again, we were making 670 horsepower. This is a car I would have on street tires if I could. But I don't think I'm ever going to build the regular one. I just enjoy this car so much. Keep the speed lowish. Yeah, it's definitely the bank does not help. Because like the first part of that corner is fairly flat, and I was like, alright. And then as soon as we got to the higher part, where it began, or the end part where it starts to bank, you can definitely feel it. Oh, that's alright. Alright, we finally spun it. But yeah, guys, this is the final verdict. It's a little bit overpowered. And I don't mean that as in like it has too much horsepower. I mean that like it's a little too easy. Like I'm hucking it into these fucking corners with no regard. And basically you can see my tire marks. Like basically no skill. It's stupid good. Stupid good. But because it's a little bit underpowered, not a lot, but for its weight and its tire size, it could use a bit more power. Because of that, and because of the fact that it's on sport tires, not race tires, so it's not overly grippy, it kind of balances itself out. Like, if you think you're a god in this car, I think you're so good in this car, same effect as the E36. If you're like, I'm so good, blah, 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 I'm like, no, like, you have way more steering lock than everybody else in this lobby. This car is like, so good it's dumb. However, like I said, it does kind of balance itself out, so I'd be like, you know what? Maybe you're kind of a god. Like, it kind of takes some skill to drive. The E36 is just like, you pay your million credits and then you're a drift god. You are Keiichi Tsuchiya Dorifto Kingu, fucking amazing. This thing, you kind of have to work it a little bit. You can't be full-blown stupid, but it's not difficult to drive at all. It's very fun. So I want to thank everybody for watching. If you have a car, I think I'm going to do the RCF next week, just because that car, I always thought it was really ugly. And the last time I drove it, I hated it. So, I mean, like, look at the... It's... Like, the second part of that corner was garbage, but the entries in this thing, it's the entry king. It's the best entry car that I have. But, I'm not facing the sun. Oops. There you go. So, give me some suggestions for cars you might want to see. I'm, again, trying to do the Rocket Bunny, Liberty Walk, Horizon Edition cars, those kinds of cars first. And then we're going to get into some weird stuff. Ferraris, I'm sure I'm going to tune it a 500, Fiat 500 to Barth in the near future, especially since I can give myself a bit more freedom with these builds. They don't have to be good right out of the gate. But yeah, if you guys want to see something, let me know in the comments. If you want to see an RCF, let me know, because that's probably what I'm going to do next episode. But thanks guys very much for watching. Take care. Peace out. Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a like, and if you want to see more, click the subscribe button. Also, consider becoming a patron at my Patreon page, patreon.com/MrAeroHD. Want to follow me on social media, or want to hear the song that you heard in the video? Please check the description.